My next guest, Marcus Edwards, formed a friendship with a complete stranger who ended up saving his life. In 2019, Marcus was in acute renal failure and was in desperate need of a kidney transplant. After 3 years of being on the transplant waiting list, Marcus, on a whim, decided to get a little creative in his search. While attending a Chicago Bears home game, Marcus held up a sign that read, "I need a kidney O positive," with his number listed at the bottom. He immediately went viral and hundreds of calls poured in over the next year, but there were no matches. A local station, WLKY, re-aired his story in hopes of finding him a match. Jennifer Michel, a complete stranger who'd never considered being a living donor, saw his story and was moved to action. In October 2021, Jennifer donated one of her kidneys to Marcus, saving his life. They are now and forever bonded, not just as donor recipient, but as true friends. That story has me already in tears. Tam fam, let's welcome Marcus Edwards to our show. Oh my goodness. Marcus, you look incredible. You just had surgery in October. How are you feeling?
I feel great. I have a renewed, spirit. It's just, it's unbelievable. I can't really put it into words. I'm getting stronger every day. Wow. And I'm getting back to me.
It's an emotional roller coaster. I know that friends and family were willing to donate their kidneys, but they weren't a match. We see these stories often, and I can't imagine that up and down feeling, the unknown, but having family around you trying. What was it like for you?
With a situation like this, sometimes things get pretty dark, but had a lot of support, a lot of champions in my corner that wouldn't let me get myself down, and help me to keep my spirits up, family, friends, my sister, she would call me every day with just words of affirmation, and encouragement, and just to be strong.
Yeah.
And I knew that, from day one, I had to fight. I was in the fight of my life, so I had to fight.
You had to fight.
And just so many people to help me through that, and to keep me grounded, and to keep me believing that there is there is somebody.
Yeah.
And
I love
hang
it.
in there.
In your search for somebody, and I've had the pleasure of going to many Chicago Bears games. I lived in Chicago for 10 years. I've gone to Chicago Bears games. I've asked for bratwurst. I've asked for the parking spot. I've asked for, hey, buddy, can you go get me a beer too? I've done it all at the Chicago Bears game. I've never seen someone go and ask for a kidney. I mean, that was a bold move to put it on that sign.
Well, we got there early. This was a gift from my wife, from sitting in a dialysis chair and not being able to get out, no vacations, everything was canceled. So she said that I want to take you to your first Bears home game. I've seen them in other stadiums, but never at home. So we got there early, and we got to the stadium earlier because I wanted to see the stadium and walk around and see the different sites inside, and it was wonderful. They had some of the old locker rooms in the auditorium, and bobbleheads, giant bobbleheads.
So you were there
on our way
getting the
to
full
our seat.
experience and enjoying, because the tailgate parties outside of the Bears games, it's legendary. But you decided to put up this sign. When we come back, we're going to meet the woman who saved Marcus's life after she saw that story and their friendship that bonded after the break. Welcome back. We're talking about friendships and how you can form them in the most unusual and unlikely places. Marcus Edwards recently had a life-saving kidney transplant after years of being on a donor list, and he finally found a match after he made the bold move to hold up a sign at a Chicago Bears football game asking for a kidney donor. Joining us is his donor and newfound friend, Jennifer Michel. Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us. So you saw the story after it re-aired, because he'd already put the sign up at the game, and a local station was trying to pick up some steam to get attention. I mean, I admire you deeply, but what your heart is of gold. What made you do this?
I don't really know. I saw the story really quickly one morning, and a few days later, I kept thinking about it, and I don't know. I just thought, well, I'll just check into it and see what the story is about. And I thought, wow, this man had to hold up a sign at a football game. It must be a desperate situation. So I don't know. I just looked into it, and the more I looked into it and the further I got, the more I realized, why don't I just check and see if I really did not think I would be a match.
Tell you, Jennifer,
really had no expectation.
I'm nosy. I can see you have friends and family and photos behind you. So you have friends and family. Did they try to convince you not to do it, or did they say, oh, once Jennifer's made her mind up? What was the reaction?
They were a little shocked. They didn't really try to talk me out of it. They just were like, really? A stranger? Do you know this person? So it was, most people, I think, assume that only family members can donate.
Yeah.
And I didn't know any differently until I checked. And then, I found out I was a match. So I knew then that I needed to do it. I wanted to do it.
Oh
I didn't have any reservations on doing it at all. It just was, it felt natural. It felt like it could be done.
Marcus, as I understand, you and Jennifer finally met. You clicked instantly. Was it surreal at the end of the day to know that a complete stranger was willing to do this for you? I know you thought, they're strangers at this football game, but for it to actually happen, for a complete stranger to actually come up to help you, how do you explain that?
You can't explain it, and it's just by chance that we even got to meet after the transplant, because both sides thought that it was anonymous for so long, and Jennifer and I both fought to meet each other, and it was like at the last minute they were rolling her out of the hospital, and they were like, "Whoa, we got to stop by," and we got to meet, and it was incredible. She walked in, man, and it was this beautiful angel, and just her aura just exuded, and the room filled up, and for a moment I forgot that I just had a surgery. It was like, and so I just I just knew that this is going to be my friend. I'm going to contact her. I want to make sure that she's all right after the surgery, and we spoke and we just checked on each other, and since then we talk as often as we can, and can't wait for the weather to get better and things to calm down so we can spend time together. And I want to make sure that she's at all the milestones we have in our life. I've got 4 kids that are going to be going through things, and she's family. She's more than just a friend now. She's family.
Jennifer, you truly are an exceptional human being. Marcus, I know you have the sign. You kept the sign. You have it with you?
I sure did.
He's got his sign.
There's the legendary sign. Oh, wow. Well, you know what? I think Marcus described you, Jennifer, so beautifully. There is an aura, even talking with you right now. You can see it. You can feel it. And I'm happy that the world has people like you in it. So thank you so much.
Well, I'm happy to, made it into his family. They're so welcoming and friendly and wonderful. And he's just wonderful, too. I mean, I knew as soon as I, met him that it was the right thing to do.
Oh, my gosh. Well, thank you so much for sharing your journey. And for you, Marcus, I will say next season, go Bears! Thank you.